What I have here is a hot mess, or it looks like a hot mess. But all these purple flowers of Verbena bonderosus, many of you already recognize that. Amongst that, I have a ton of different grasses, but how all this came to be was a happy accident. In the middle of all this, there is an apple tree. Now, it started off yay big. I got it bare root from Arbor Day Foundation, and if I'm not mistaken, it is a Red Jonathan. It's a Red Jonathan apple tree. And a couple of years ago, I took some compost, which I hadn't gotten up to a proper temperature to kill off all the weed seeds and other seeds, but I figured anything's better than nothing, and it'll finish rotting down at this location and provide nutrition to the soil and to the tree. So that's what I did. I got a bunch of compost, poured it all around the tree. This fence had to go up because the deer kept assaulting my apple tree. They were nibbling it down every chance they could get. I think they like the fresh, young, new leaves, so they kept doing that, which was kind of annoying. So I put this fence up, and last year, all this verbena started popping up, and I think a little foxglove. This year we had a lot of foxglove, and the verbena is still rocking. I like it. It adds a bit of interest, and it draws your eye out here towards the orchard. So I'm going to keep this. What I will do though is take this fence down probably in the fall. I don't think it's necessary anymore. I think the apple tree is large enough and mature enough that the deer aren't going to continue to nibble on it, I hope. Either way, I'm going to edit out some of these grasses that have started growing in here. I'm going to mow the whole thing down, or weed whack the whole thing down to about a foot. And this will be in the late fall, early winter. That'll just clean up the area a little bit, but I'm going to keep the size because it's sort of like a micro mini meadow. I don't have to mow it. I don't have to worry about getting close to the tree. And whatever flowers here, flowers here. And I'll just continue mowing around it, leaving a little island here, as it were, of verbena, foxglove, whatever else pops up. I may try to even throw some poppy seeds in here this fall, or winter, this winter I should say, and see if they germinate and see what happens. The more color and the more alive it seems, the better. And this is what this is going to be. And if grasses grow up, grasses grow up. It's, to me, it's not the end of the world. I'm not trying to keep a perfectly beautiful garden. So before we get on to what you saw in the beginning of this video, check this out. As many of you may or may not know, I'm an affiliate partner with Epic Gardening. And that means I can bring you guys a 5% discount to any order that you place over at Epic Gardening. And Epic Gardening just let me know earlier this week that starting today, Friday, August 2nd, you can turn around and start placing your orders for your fall garlic. They're doing pre-orders now, and starting at the top of the list that they sent me, there's I can't pronounce this, so I'm just going to put it right here. It's an award-winning true garlic flavor of a soft neck variety, which just sounds nice. Sicilian artichoke. It's a soft neck for Mediterranean or Mideastern cuisine. So if you like cooking Mediterranean or Mideastern, or you just want to give a try, I'm definitely going to give it a try. So soft neck artichoke. Then there's music, and it says here it's very popular. So again, if you've grown music before, or if you'd like to try growing music, go check that out. German white stiffneck. According to here, it's very cold hardy with rich flavor. When raw and sweet and nutty once cooked. Now I'm probably too far south for that one, but you may be, and I know at least one of you, because you answered a community poll that I asked, or a community question that I asked my YouTube community, where you're from, and one of you at least said you're from Canada, so this might be the one for you. Chestnut red. I grew chestnut red this year. I got a good result from it, so you might want to check that one out. Silver white, never heard of that one before. I've grown California white, but never silver white. It says all around classic soft neck, good for everyday use. Then the next one here is common, but it's not a garlic. Elephant garlic. Elephant garlic is not really a garlic. I believe it's a leek. But either way, if you sort of like that garlic flavor, but you don't want it as strong, elephant garlic is the way to go. And then Montana Zemo, another one I probably can't grow down here in Growing Zone 8B, but those of you who are further north in the country or up in Canada, you definitely should give this one a try. It says when cooked, it's buttery, almost sweet. Raw, it's complex and hot. And there's one more. Here we go, Romanian red, scares away vampires. Very good to have. If you're worried about vampires, Romanian red is the garlic to have. But it's also apparently good in Thai, Korean, and Chinese food. Head over to Epic Gardening. Grab yourself some garlic for the fall. Use Growing to save yourself 5% on your order, and it's not just the garlic. You could go buy yourself a Birdie's Raid bed, one of Kevin's books, tools, seed trays, etc., etc., etc. Go check out the Epic Gardening store. Get yourself some garlic, maybe get yourself some other stuff while you're there. Save yourself 5%. And now back with the show. So, as you saw in the beginning of the video, I weed whacked down the grass. And I upset the fire ants that have a pile over by the rebar, which is helping to hold this tree to a correct position. It started leaning off to one side, and though I don't mind a wonky or leaning tree, it was getting a little too far, so I took some twine and rebar and I started pulling it back into place, and I can tell now from from the looseness of the twine that it has done its job. By the way, this is a Gala apple tree. So the tree that we were just standing next to is Red Jonathan. This is Gala. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down this cardboard. Well, my reasoning behind all of this is, one, the compost will add nutrition to the tree as it rots down and gets incorporated into the ground. And the cardboard will smother any all weed seeds that will try to come up. Now, this isn't a perfect circle, nor is it meant to be. And grasses will grow into this area. I'm not even going to edge around this. This is a non-edging space, let's call it. But if I can replicate what I did over there by accident over here, all the better. And that's sort of the plan. And the cardboard will definitely rot away before the fall, probably. As long as we keep getting the heat and humidity we have been, this cardboard will rot away. But by the time the fall comes around, a lot of the grasses and the weeds stop growing, or they slow down a lot, and I'm gonna put down pine bark mulch on top of this. There, and we'll drop this here, I think. There you go. That kind of works. The other part of the plan is to come back, late winter, probably, and early spring, and see if I can start planting into this area. Because right now, as you can see, there's nothing to plant into because I just covered everything with cardboard. What I'm thinking is some of this mulch will rot away. I can turn around and add fresh bagged compost and plant daffodils in here as well. Something I never did because the other side was a happy accident. We'll plant some daffodils in here, and I'm going to take some verbena cuttings this fall and grow them on in the greenhouse, and then hopefully plant them out here as well. So daffodils, verbena, and I may even add some poppy into the mix. All right. Now, if we get a heavy downpour of rain, I'm sure a lot of this mulch will spread itself out, which is fine because the ground beneath my feet is absolute garbage. So if the mulch spreads out into the grass, it's fine. Eventually it'll break down, it'll be added to the soil, it'll help improve the soil, which is always my game plan here with this property because the soil beneath my feet is it's just horrible. I'll add some fresh bag compost, I'll plant a bunch of daffodils in here. I think that'd be freaking awesome and spectacular. I'll put some verbena in here, and then whatever else grows, grows. If it starts getting grassy and weedy, so be it. The whole idea here is to create just a nice little sort of meadow-ish area. If I can pull it off half as good as the other one, which I did by accident, I think this space will be pretty awesome. And I'd like to replicate this idea as well to some of the other areas around here. Maybe around the fig tree or the pawpaws, definitely the other apple tree, and create just these little islands of flowers. Something of interest to again help draw your eye out here, and hopefully in 10 years' time, when the whole orchard is surrounded by hedging, which I'd like to get done sooner than later, but hopefully then, when you walk into this space, because you really won't be able to see it from outside due to the hedges, you get the point there, but there'll be something of interest besides just these trees that are growing. And again, there's nothing wrong with the trees that are growing, but why not add more interest? And honestly, there's probably some weed seeds or flower seeds in the compost that I put down today, and they may eventually push their way up, and if so, so be it. Worst case, absolute worst case scenario, if this area just looks absolutely terrible, I can just run over it with the mower. That's the way that works. But I'm hopeful by doing this way now that this space will be ready to plant into come the spring, and I can make it look like something pretty awesome. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, click that bell icon to be notified when I do post a new video. This way, maybe you can come back next spring and see how this whole experiment thing was working out for me. Maybe it'll be a total disaster. Maybe it'll be something awesome. If you haven't checked out any of the links below, please go check out those links below in the description. If you haven't checked out growingandgrowingfinger.com, head over to growingandgrowingfinger.com. I've got all sorts of stuff going on over there. There's a resource page, there's a map of the garden, there's just so much going on over at that website. And if you guys have any suggestions for the website or something you'd like to see on the website, please leave a comment below or shoot me an email at jason@growinggreenfinger.com. Don't forget to save yourself 5% over at Epic Gardening and pre-order yourself some garlic. And that goes for anything over at Epic Gardening. So if you want to get yourself a birdie's bed or some sort of gardening tool, it's 5% off your order with the code GROWING. If you haven't checked out my YouTube community page, head over there. I ask you guys all sorts of questions. I do polls. I throw various bits of information out at you guys. There's all sorts of good stuff over there. Please come join us over there at the YouTube community page. Leave your comments below as always. Sophie's inside staying out of the heat. It is far too hot out here right now, and I'm gonna go find some air conditioning. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.